context. So that's why in functional it is little or none, because functional organization, they have their own work to do, which might be anything like consulting or something like that. Who manages the project budget in case of functional organization? It's the functional manager, because the functional manager acts as the project manager, which comes once in a while. And the functional manager is again he manages the budget in case of weak matrix. Although there is a project expediter, the functional manager manages the budget in case of the weak matrix. In balanced matrix, it's mixed, wherein the functional manager and the project manager or the project coordinator can be involved in managing the budget. In case of strong matrix, it's the project manager who manages the budget. In case of projectized organization, it's again the project manager who manages the budget. So project manager's role in case of functional is part-time or non-existent. In case of weak matrix, project manager's role is part-time. In case of balanced matrix, the project manager's role is full-time. In case of strong matrix, the project manager's role is full-time again. On projectized node, it's full-time. So this table is really important in case of understanding the power of and roles of different managers, like the functional manager, project expediter, and project coordinator, and then the project manager. So let's move on to the next section, which is project life cycles. Projects pass through different phase to closure. So depending on your application area, your project might have different life cycle. A software development project will have requirement analysis, design. Again, in design you might have high level design, low level design, then you have development, then you have testing, and then you have deployment. But in a construction industry it might be totally different, wherein you might have something like planning and design phase. You might have conceptual planning, like how it's shown here. You might have a conceptual planning, design and engineering, procurement and construction, and then you have the construction phase, and then obviously the operational life cycle, wherein the project becomes operational or people start living, and you have a separate team which takes care of day-to-day operation. So for a construction industry, project life cycle might be totally different from what is available in a software project. So with this context, projects pass through different phases to closure. So every project has its own phase, like requirement gathering is one of the phase, then you have design, development, and all that. So the phases determined as part of the project lifecycle provide better ways to track the project progress and can vary based on the application area and level of control needed. So it's up to the project manager or the organization as such to tailor the phases. They might add one phase extra depending on the level of control they need, and to see how things can be done better in a better way. There are two types of project life cycles. One is called as predictive, the next one is called as adaptive. In case of predictive life cycles, product scope is known right in the beginning and changes are carefully managed all through the life cycle. Scope, time and cost are freezed early on. So this is the typical waterfall model, wherein only if you freeze the scope you get to the next level of development and things like that. So you plan once and then you stick to that particular plan. In case of adaptive life cycles, product scope gets elaborated with each phase and scope for the phase is defined at the start of that particular phase. So adaptive life cycle is a lot more iterative, wherein for each iteration or sprint you take some requirement, you follow a life cycle for that particular phase, then the next iteration you take one more set of requirements, then you build it. The advantage of this particular adaptive life cycle approach is you can keep things running and live, but in case of predictive life cycle, until things get over or completed, you can't see a final cut of the product. So that's where adaptive life cycles are far more customer you know, customer helpful than compared to predictive life cycles. In case of iterative and incremental life cycles, an iteration repeats the same set of phases in a cycle, while an increment is concerned with adding more functionality or elaborating the project's deliverables. So we are talking about two terms here. One is iteration, then increment. An iteration repeats the same set of phases